Hi, everybody. This is Mrs. Alonso, and I'm going to be reading aloud your 6.5 mid-unit assessment. You are not allowed to use a calculator on this test, so please have your notebook and a pencil ready for you to work out the problems in front of you. After each problem, you should pause the video and work it out in your notebooks. Let's begin. Question number 1. Which estimate is closest to the actual value of 299,548 hundred-thousandths times 1 and 8,342 ten-thousandths? Round each factor to the tenths place. So once you've rounded these numbers, you're going to go ahead and multiply. Your answer choices are 4 and 8/10ths, 5 and 4/10ths, 6 and 2/10ths, or 8 and 3/10ths. Pause and do the work. Question number 2. For part of a science experiment, Andre adds 2,500 milliliters of dye to 12 and 3/10 milliliters of water. How many milliliters does the mixture contain? 12 and 500ths, 12 and 325 thousandths, 12 and 55 hundredths, or 14 and 8/10ths? Pause and do the work. Question number 3. Select all of the expressions that are greater than 3. So in your notebook, you're going to write these out and remember your rule for adding and subtracting with decimals. And you're going to write each one of these out, and if it's greater than 3, you're going to check the little box if your answer is greater than 3. Okay, the first one is 1 and 67 hundredths plus 1 and 4/10ths. The second one is 2 and 97 hundredths plus 4 thousandths. The third one is 3 and 17 thousandths minus 5 hundredths. The fourth one is 4 and 5/10ths minus 1 and 47 hundredths. And the last one is 5 and 503 thousandths minus 2 and 52 hundredths. Pause and do the work in your notebooks. Question number 4. 4 runners are training for long races. Noah ran 5 and 123,000th miles. Andre ran 6 and 3400th miles. Jada ran 7 and 1/10 miles. And Diego ran 8 miles. What is the total running distance of the 4 runners? Just type the number of your answer to the thousandth place in this box. Go ahead and pause and do the first part of this question. You're finding the total distance of all 4 runners. Question number 2. Jada ran how much farther than Noah? So now you're looking at Noah and Jada and determining how much farther Jada ran than Noah. Okay, do the math in your notebook and type your answer to the thousandth place in the box. Go ahead and pause and do your work. Question number 5. One way to compute a 15% tip for a bill is to multiply it by 15/100ths. A restaurant bill was $42.40. Calculate the tip. You will use 15% for the tip. So look at this first line, it will tell you how to do that. Okay, so what does it say? We're going to take the amount of the bill and multiply it times 15% or 15/100ths. When you put your answer in, do not use a dollar sign, just type the answer, just type the numbers and the decimal point. Pause and do the work. Question number 6. Find the product of 61 thousandths times 43 hundredths. Pause and do the work in your notebook. Remember the rule for multiplying with decimals. Part 2 of question 6, find the difference. Okay, so you're going to subtract 1 minus 4,308 10,000ths. Go ahead and pause and do the work in your notebook. Question 7. 2 students have different ways to calculate 25 hundredths times 44 thousandths as a decimal. Show or describe in detail how each student might compute this product. Elena says, I find 25 times 44 and then move the decimal point. Diego says, 25 hundredths times 44 thousandths equals, I solve with fractions, then I change my fraction to a decimal. Begin your answer in the text box with, I agree with Elena, and the answer is, or I agree with Diego, and the answer is. This is the last question. So once you finish, go ahead and look over your answers. Make sure you've selected an answer for each question before submitting. Thank you. Good luck.